proportion to me is
Test, 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 test. Test, test, test. Good afternoon, Beaconville, and sorry for the technical difficulties. We're coming to you live from the Clark Athletic Center as your UMass Boston Beacons men's basketball team is taking on Eastern Nazarene College. It's Michael Vesci making his broadcasting debut alongside women's soccer senior defender Gina Albano on color commentary for our BBN broadcast today. We pick it up for you right here with about 14 minutes left to play. Eastern Nazarene College off to a strong start, leading 17-11. It's Bernie McGinnis leading the way right now for the Lions with 4 points. On the Beacon side, it's Mariana Rodriguez with 3. The Beacons are shooting 3 of 6 from the field. Eastern Nazarene 5 of 8. As we head into a brief timeout right here with about a 30-second timeout. We just had the media one before that. So we'll kind of catch you up to speed with everything here. Gina, what do you think is the key for both these teams coming into today's game?
Keep themselves kind of on a roll heading into Christmas break.
Yeah, the Beacons this year coming into the game have been pretty on fire. I mean, they're coming off of a rough matchup against WestCon in which they lost by double digits, but nothing to hang their heads about coming into this season. They've looked really good with a very young team, 5-3 on the year, 1-1 in conference play. As we pick up out of the timeout as Bernie McGinnis gets a shot clock violation right there. It'll be Beacon ball. Bobby Joy, Emmanuel Zayas, Ike Alua, Malik Lorquette, and Xavier McKenzie are on the floor for the Beacons. Joy finds Alua in the corner. Alua with the jump shot. No good. The rebound there taken by Corey McGee. Coming down the court with it is Kobe Jones. Jones flips it over to Jawan Moore. Moore back over to McGee. Up top to Levi White. White on the drive. Lays it up and is fouled on the play down low. It'll be Ike Alua with the personal foul there. 2 shots coming up for Eastern Nazarenes. Levi White, he's already got 2 points on the day. He's 1 for 1 from the field. White hits the first. Beacons checking in Tommy Burris for Alua. Jawan Moore coming out of the game for Kobe Jones. It'll be Lorquette and Burris down low looking to get the rebound against McGee and McGinnis. White nails the second. It'll be Isaac Padilla onto the floor for the Lions, replacing Levi White. As Emmanuel Zayas brings it up the floor and finds Bobby Joy on the right side. Joy cutting towards the middle, finds McKenzie. McKenzie dribbling into the paint, kicks it back out to Joy. Joy over to Zayas, flips it over to the right side, and McKenzie's got it. Two defenders on him, back up top to Zayas. Zayas into the paint, kicks it back out to McKenzie. McKenzie along the baseline. McKenzie, jumper, no good. Rebound goes out of bounds. It'll stay here, Beacon ball. As Joey DePina is going to check in for the Lions. Coming out of the game will be Kobe Dunbar. About 12:49 remaining in the first half, still 13-7 in favor of Eastern Nazarene College. Lorquette at the top, taking on McGinnis one-on-one. The floater, good for two. Malik Lorquette coming to this game, 6 double-doubles on the year. Gina, what has been, great about his play this year that you've seen from him in the few games you've had at home that has really made him into the player he is and having these outstanding performances?
Well, just right there we see UMass Boston has some great ball movement, and Lorquette's able to finish. So that just really shows the player that he is and his ability to kind of make things happen when he needs to.
Creating space on the floor, just like Corey McGee did right there for the easy jumper. Gives the Lions 2 more points. It's a 6-point game right now as McKenzie wheeling around up top, kicking it out to Zayas in the corner for 3. Yes, bangs it home. Zayas with the 3, cuts the deficit down to 3 points with just under 12 minutes to go here in the first half of this contest. McGee up high on the right side for the Lions. In control of the ball, one-on-one with Lorquette. Fakes a move right there. Is going to kick it into the corner over to Padilla. Padilla back out to McGee. McGee for 3, short. It's rebounded down low by Nazarene. They're able to get it back out to number 2, Corey McGee yet again. Back out, kicks it out for 3 to Isaac Padilla. Padilla short on it. It's rebounded by number 13, Tommy Burris. And back up the court, the Beacons will go with a chance now to tie it here with just over 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Xavier McKenzie up top, down low to Malik Lorquette at the post. One-on-one with McGinnis. Again, a tough shot for Lorquette, and he gets it to fall. Beacons now trail by just 1 as Malik Lorquette's got 4 straight points for the Beacons. Up the court come the Lions with Kobe Jones controlling the ball at the point. One-on-one with McKenzie. Jones is going to take on that drive, kicks it into the corner. That's Joey DePina, misses it. Malik Lorquette with the rebound, and back come the Beacons now with the chance to take their first lead of the contest. They've trailed since the beginning of this one. Zayas kicks it out to Joy for 3, bangs it home. UMass Boston comes back into this game after trailing 15-9, an 8-0 run right there. Puts them in front by 2 with just over 10 minutes remaining, and now it's going to be a turnover for number 5, Kobe Jones. It'll be Beacon ball as we head to a media timeout. 10:28 remaining here in the first half. UMass Boston 17, Eastern Nazarene 15.
The lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
Proportion to me.
We're back on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, sponsored by LittleEast.tv, and the Beacons just coming off of an 8-0 run, going to that media timeout. Gina Albano, what has been the key to this 8-0 run for the Beacons that have now put them in front by 2 here late in the first half?
Yeah, I think the obvious answer to that is Lorquette. I mean, he has a great drive to the hoop, puts up 2 points, and then he's able to get the rebound on the defensive end, which sets up Joy for the 3. So I think Lorquette's already had a great game in the beginning of this, and hopefully he can keep it going.
Yeah, you'd be right about that. Malik Lorquette with 4 points already in this first half, 2 for 3 shooting, 3 rebounds. Again, 6 double-doubles coming into this game. He has been on fire in the Beacons' first 8 games, coming just short of having double-doubles in every contest. He's really been a force to be reckoned with. He's closing in on the all-time rebound record. He's about 150 off from it coming into today, set back in the 80s or 90s. as Emmanuel Zayas, a deep three, his second, and as many trips down the floor as the Beacons now open up a 5-point advantage with about 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Kobe Jones finding Kobe Dunbar, and now in the middle goes Levi White. He is blocked down low by Burris, and the Beacons come the other way. Lorquette kicks it over to McKenzie, who finds Burris over to Zayas, who's been controlling the point for the Beacons. Zayas, he's had the hot hand in the first half so far. McKenzie back over to Burris in the corner. Burris, skip pass over to Zayas in the corner. Zayas steps out of bounds. It'll be a turnover for the Beacons, and now back into the game for the Lions is number 2, Corey McGee. It'll be Kobe Jones inbounding for the Lions on the far side of the court, taking it up the court. Number 15, Jawan Moore. Moore on the left side, one-on-one with Zayas, pushes off of him. Moore trying to get some space, and he turns it over. It's McKenzie, and a 2-on-1 the other way. Zayas is going to pull it back out as the Beacons maintain possession here, finding Mariano Olivier Rodriguez in the corner. Back to Olivier Rodriguez. Lorquette down at the baseline in the corner, working one-on-one, and he's going to be fouled by number 24, Kobe Dunbar. It'll be taken out underneath the hoop by Zayas here. Bernie McGinnis, the leading scorer coming into the day for the Lions, checking back into the game for Kobe Jones. Zayas into Lorquette, gets it right back to him, and Zayas with the mid-range jumper. No good, rebounded there by the Lions, number 24, Kobe Dunbar, and back the other way. The Lions will push, trying to get themselves back into this contest, trailing by 5 after the Beacons went on a big run, and now Zayas is going to get called for a foul down low on McGinnis with 8:55 remaining here in the first half. Juwan Moore will take the inbound right here with Zayas in front of him. Levi White feeds it down low to McGinnis. McGinnis, no good on the shot. Lorquette grabs the rebound, and he's going the other way with numbers in transition. Xavier McKenzie with it up top. Kicks it out to Burris for 3. In and out, and he's got it. A 3-pointer for Tommy Burris, the lead for the Beacons up to 8. As there's going to be a blocking foul down low. Charge to Tommy Burris after making that basket. Be taken out underneath. Beacons now in control by 8 in this one. On a 10-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 48 seconds, an 8-0 run over the last 151. McGinnis controls it up top. Down low to Moore. Moore tries to get it inside to White. White's going to be blocked by McKenzie. Rebounded by Emmanuel Zayas, going the other way. 4-on-3, so he's going to pull it back out to the top of the key. Over to McKenzie on the right side. Lorquette down low near the baseline, working one-on-one. A tough shot, and he's got it. The Beacons now in control by double digits after trailing early on. Lions looking to answer right here. McGinnis in the corner, gets it over to Moore. Moore dribbling with Zayas all over him. They have to kick it back out to McGee up top. Kobe Dunbar now in control with it. Dunbar kicks it into the corner for Levi White. White for 3, no good. Rebounded by number 11 for the Beacons. Olivier Rodriguez kicks it ahead to McKenzie. And it's going to be an and 1. Xavier McKenzie on the fast break gets the layup and the foul. Foul is charged to Kobe Dunbar. McKenzie will go to the line and shoot 1. We'll take it to a media timeout here. The Beacons in control now, 27-15 on the Beacon Broadcast Network, sponsored by LittleEast.tv.
Is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being a D3 program.
Back here at Clark Athletic Center, 7:38 remaining. The Beacons in control by 12 on an 18-0 run right now. And gonna throw it over to Gina now. What do the Lions have to do to stop not only this 18-0 run, as we have a free throw coming up here from McKenzie, but get back into this game?
Yeah, I think they got to start drawing some fouls. I think UMass Boston's run all goes back to the 2 big blocks by Burris and McKenzie. And not only are those turnovers, but those are changes of I guess the way this game is moving. So definitely they got to start generating some offense, start drawing some fouls to kind of change the momentum of this game and get back in it.
Yeah, you mentioned turnovers. The Lions have 4 already in this one. The Beacons with 6. However, the Beacons have only manufactured 3 turnovers off that. Until that one, Malik Lorquette with the dunk off the turnover. And the Beacons run has now stretched to 20 consecutive points. They trailed 15-9 early on in this one, and now they're up 30-15. As the Lions looking to get anything going, Corey McGee misses that shot, and Olivia Rodriguez brings it down the other way for the Beacons. Lorquette, one-on-one, nice spin move. It's blocked by McGinnis and rebounded by Dunbar. And the Lions looking yet again to see if they can get some points. It's been a while since they got anything. McGee down low, fakes it on Lorquette, able to get the fall. That snaps a stretch of 20 consecutive points for the Beacons, who trailed 15-9. 21 consecutive points for the Beacons, who trailed 15-9. Up to that point. Lorquette on the feed from Zayas. Oh, just misses it in and out. McGee with the rebound, and coming the other way are the Lions. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Levi White in a little bit of trouble right there. There's going to be a jump ball called. Possession arrow will favor ENC. The ball will stay on the offensive end for them as they look to try and manufacture a run of their own in response to that Beacons 21-0 run in the middle of this first half. McGinnis with the ball up top. Over to McGee, kicks it back out to White. White tries to feed it down low. Little bit of a scrum for the ball, and it goes out of bounds. It's staying here with Eastern Nazarene. Still trailing by 13 points here in the first half. 6:07 to go. The Beacons coming into this game 5-3, playing their first of 4 home games to close out their first half of the season before they go on their brief winter break and then come back in the new year against Castleton on the road. Have a little bit of a stoppage right here as the referees are figuring out an issue with the clock. So to catch you up to speed here, early on, what you missed obviously because of some technical issues, Eastern Nazarene jumped ahead early, 3-0. Tommy Burris responded with a jumper, makes it 3-2. And at that point, Nazarene would open up a 5-point lead, at most up to 6, before the Beacons went on their run to get back into this game and now take a 13-point lead, as it's going to be number 10, Levi White, drawing that foul against Malik Brooms on the tough jumper. Kind of drove himself into Brooms to get that contact as the shot clock was expiring, and he'll head to the line for 2 shots. 6:04 remaining here in the first half. Hits the first. It'll be Olivia Rodriguez and Burris down low looking to get the rebound against number 0, Lucas Battisti, and then Corey McGee. No good on the second. It's going to be Olivia Rodriguez with the rebound, and back the other way come the Beaks. With 6 minutes remaining in this one, 12-point advantage in the first half. It's going to be McKenzie up top on the right side, kicking it up to Zayas at the top. McKenzie on the right side for 3, no good. Rebounded by Battisti. Lions coming the other way, trailing by 12. White with the ball in the corner, looks to cross, pass it over to McGinnis. McGinnis gets it after it's tipped by Xavier McKenzie. Bad pass, stolen away by Zayas on the ground. 3-on-2 the other way. McKenzie gets the contact, no good on the shot. Broom, second shot opportunities fouled down low. And that'll be charged to number 10, Levi White. Beacon's heading to the line for 2 shots. Coming to the game for the Beacons, Malik Lorquette has been the high point scorer for this team. He's averaging a double-double again, 16.6 points, 11.9 rebounds a game. Malik Brooms has appeared in 19 minutes this year, played in 5 games so far. He's averaging 3 points and 1.6 rebounds to the game as he hits that first free throw. Zayas and Burris exit Bobby Joy into the game along with Lorquette, as Broom shoots the back end of the 2 free throws with 5:28 here remaining. Hits the second. Beacons back up by 14, tying their largest lead of the contest. And up the court comes Jawan Moore with the ball for ENC. Corey McGee with it, gets it down low to McGinnis. Wow, what a nice finish there by McGinnis with Lorquette all over him. Cuts the deficit back down to 12. 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Joy kicks it up to McKenzie at the top. Joy with it again. McKenzie back over. They're just passing it around up top at the 3-point line and now working it around. Looks like ENC is in a 2-3 zone, so they're trying to figure out how they can break that. And that's going to be a long shot by Brooms. Missed. McKenzie with the rebound kicks it out to Joy. Joy gets the defense off balance. Jumper, no good. It's going to be a little bit of a scrum for it down low, and it's recovered by Kobe Jones. ENC coming the other way with it. Jones feeds it down low to Moore. Moore one-on-one with McKenzie. Turnaround jumper, he nails it. ENC cuts the deficit down to 10 with a little bit of a 4-0 run right there. Tommy Burris getting ready to check back into this game. Kenzie and Joy looking to draw that defense off balance over to Olivia Rodriguez in the corner. Joy and McKenzie controlling the top of the key. And now down at the baseline with Lorquette, back out to Olivia Rodriguez for 3. Yes! Nothing but net for Olivia Rodriguez. And it's a 13-point lead for the Beaks. Lions on the outside perimeter of this one. Moore kicks it out to McGinnis. McGinnis for 3. No good. Rebounded by Bobby Joy. 2-on-1 the other way. McKenzie finds Olivia Rodriguez, who comes from the back end. He hits it. He slips and hits the deck, and he's back up. And the Beacons are back up by 15. Now their largest lead of the game up to this point. Battisti gets it over to Moore. Moore at the top, kicking it into the corner to Jones. Jones for 3 with Joy all over him. No good. Rebounded and kicked out by McGee, but Lorquette is going to get that rebound. 3:15 to go. Beacons in control by 15 points. Joy at the top, slowing the tempo down in the 2-3 zone that ENC is playing. They have Lorquette double teamed in the corner, but not much movement to try and trap him. He's able to get it back out to McKenzie, who feeds it to Joy. Joy into the paint for McKenzie. Kicks it back out to Olivia Rodriguez for another 3. No good. Back the other way comes Moore. Transition, 2-on-1. Kobe Jones for 2. ENC trailing here by 13, looking to check somebody in. Both teams are. Burr still waiting at the bench. Lions brought someone down there. Emmanuel Zayas looking to check in now as well. Joy up top to Olivia Rodriguez. Back on over to Joy on the left side. Feeds Brooms in the corner and kicks it back out. Trying to draw that defense off. They do. Lorquette down low. He's blocked. The double team of Battisti and McGee help stop him as we've got immediate timeout here with 2:26 remaining in the first half. UMass Boston 37, Eastern Nazarene College 24. This is the Beacons Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
Graham, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply.
Back here on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, I'm Mike Vesci, along with Gina Albano. And Gina, you know, the Beacon's up by 13 right now. They've had 7 different players score. No one in double digits yet. They've really been spreading the wealth around. What has really been the key to this, 20-5 run now for the Beacons in the first half?
You know, that's a stat that makes sense. The Beacon's ball movement has been absolutely spectacular. They're really moving around and getting everyone a touch on the ball. So it makes sense that 7 different players have been able to put the ball in the net. Yeah,
it really helps when you got scorers, as you know, playing soccer this past season. When the more you can get the offense going, the better you can bring it over to your defense when you're in control of the game and just kind of coast. And right now, Beacon's in full control of this one, up 13 points with 2:21 remaining. Foul called right there on Eastern Nazarene, sending Malik Lorquette to the line for 2 shots. The foul went against Corey McGee. Lorquette missing the first one. Right now, Lorquette and Rodriguez leading the team with 8 points apiece and shooting over 50%. Lorquette short on the second one. Kobe Dunbar with the rebound. We've got 2 minutes to go in the first half right here. McGee for ENC got it. Down low to Kobe Jones, who misses. It's kicked back out to the top. McGee short on the 3. Lorquette with another rebound, kicks it over to Zayas. In transition, looking for a basket. Joy is going to be off on that one, taken by McGee on the rebound, and back the other way come the Lions. Again, 13-point lead for the Beacons, in control of this one. Lions really have had no answer to this 20-5 run for UMass Boston. And it's blocked by Burris down low. McKenzie the other way, 2-on-1, stutter step, yes. 15-point advantage for UMass Boston. As back the other way comes McGee, spin move on McKenzie, lays it up and in. Basket for a basket. Transition points have really been the story of this first half for UMass Boston, who's been out and running in this one. Numbers in transition have been key to their success. Lorquette down low is going to be blocked by Kobe Dunbar, and it's going the other way as it was off of Lorquette after that. Leading scorer for the Lions, Bernie McGinnis, back into the game. He's been their high point man all year long, and in this one, he's tied for the lead with McGee with 6 points. They're both shooting 3 of 8 from the floor. McGee with 4 rebounds, McGinnis with 1. McGinnis in the corner now, controlling the ball, kicks it into McGee. McGee working one-on-one with Lorquette, trying to do something with it, and Lorquette all over him. McGee somehow is able to get that one home. We've got 47 seconds and counting, down to 45 now here in the first half, an 11-point lead for UMass Boston. The crowd started to fill in as the game has gone on. Cheerleaders out in full force for this one. Finals week coming up here in Beaconville as well. McGinnis is going to get that steal, and we come back the other way with it. Levi White in control of it, and now up top to McGee. About a second difference between game and shot clock. So the Lions are just going to run this one down for one last bucket. See if they can cut this down to a single-digit game right now, trailing by 11 after the Beacons went on an impressive run partway through the first half. Jawan Moore with McKenzie all over him. Hits that basket right before the buzzer. Jumped into McKenzie looking to draw the foul, but is able to get it to fall. And your score at halftime right now, the UMass Boston Beacons 39, ENC Lions 30. We'll take a quick commercial and we'll have halftime stats for you here on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
In another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
The University of Massachusetts, Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a-lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Cheer for the stumbles. That he should have had that. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
The University of Massachusetts, Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus.
It's halftime here in Beaconville. Your UMass Boston Beacons leading 39-30 over Eastern Nazarene College. About 10 minutes to go before the second half gets underway. Here are our halftime statistics. The Beacons shooting an impressive 50% from the floor, 15 of 30, and 6 for 12 from 3. 50s across the board for the Beacons, 42.9% from the free throw line. They took 7 free throws in the first half, only made 3 of those. 21 rebounds, they're out rebounding Eastern Nazarene 21-15. Assists, they've been spreading the wealth 11-7, and then turnovers for UMass Boston 8 to Eastern Nazarene 6. Nazarene has had 10 points off the turnover to UMB's 7, and then on the other side you see there the Lions shooting 40.6% from the floor, 13-32. 1 of 11 from 3 for a percentage of 9.1, and then 3 for 4 from the Lions, 75% from the charity stripe. And Gina Albano here with me on color for today's game. You're doing a great job so far. First times all around up here in the broadcasting section on a nice Saturday afternoon here in Beaconville. We've got women's hockey after this actually at 4 o'clock, which will be carried by Andrew Bluestein. But kicking it back over to this game, Gina, what does UMass Boston have to do, or what was key to their first half success that helped them jump out to that massive lead and now leading into the second half by 9?
Yeah, well, I think defensively, the Beacons have been doing really well. Tommy Burris had a couple of huge blocks that kind of changed the momentum. But I think the key really for the Beacons tonight is going to be their offense. They've done a great job of moving the ball, getting multiple Beacons scoring already tonight. So I think if they can kind of keep that moving, they're going to cause a lot of problems for the Lions tonight.
Yeah, and with this 9-point advantage, you go to the flip side of things and you say, what does Eastern Nazarene College have to do really to get themselves back into this game? I mean, they had that nice little run there at the end, kind of get some momentum going in the second half, but what's going to be key to them if they want to try and get back in this game and win it?
Yeah, like you said, they had that kind of momentum shift there at the end. They've been able to get behind the Beacons a few times, so I think they're really going to have to kind of expand on that and do that a couple more times. So hopefully they'll be able to do that.
Yeah, and then when we look at both teams' stats across the board, these two teams have had a lot of different scores. What stands out to you, one player from each team? I know one for me in particular on the Eastern Nazarene side would have to be Bernie McGinnis. You know, he's only 3 of 8 today with 6 points, but he's their lead scorer and lead rebounder. So what do you see from Eastern Nazarene side and UMass Boston side that they kind of need to, one player that needs to take over in the second half for their team to help them win it?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to agree with you there. McGinnis really needs to kind of step it up and create more opportunities for the Lions in all if they really want to kind of get back in this game. On the Beacon side, I would say Malik Lorquette has to keep doing what he's been doing, and hopefully Emmanuel Zayas can get a few more opportunities to take some threes. He's been looking really good out there, so hopefully they'll have some opportunities to kind of make that happen a few more times tonight.
Yeah, the junior guard Bernie McGinnis right now, number 14 for Eastern Nazarene, 3 for 8, 6 points like we mentioned, 0 for 2 from three-point land. This year coming into the game, he scored 17 points on average for his team, and he's shooting 39% from three-point land and 44.4% from the floor in general coming into the game. But today he just seems to be having an off day in the first half. If he turns it on in the second half, though, it could be a different story. And then like you mentioned with Malik Lorquette on the other side, 4 for 8, he's almost played all 20 minutes in this one, averaging a double-double this year. He's at plus 10 when he's on the floor for his team, 8 points and 6 rebounds. He's well on his way to another double-double in this one. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, what he can bring to the table in the second half. If he continues to score like that, the Beacons should be in good shape. Is there anything else, though, that you see, Gina, in the second half that either of these teams need to do to just stay ahead of the 8 ball? What do you think is really a key part of these teams' games?
I think another thing for the Lions is so far they've been shooting well from the free throw line when they get there. So I think just getting those opportunities to put themselves in that position would be definitely help them kind of close this gap with the Beacons.
Yeah, they only have 4 free throws coming to this one, and like you had mentioned earlier in the contest, and in fact, Levi White has taken all 4 of those free throws for Eastern Nazarene College. You mentioned it earlier on, around like the 12-minute mark. What does Eastern Nazarene have to do to get back into this game? Draw more fouls, and they really didn't do much in terms of that. They only drew 5 in the entire first half, which, I mean, if you want to even get into the bonus or the double bonus, you have to get up to 7. They didn't even reach the threshold to get to the 1-and-1 situation. Really, it's been a tough game for each team to draw the foul. The refs are letting them play lots of hard contact, but just 6 fouls committed by Eastern Nazarene and just 5 for UMass Boston. So a real physical game, but it hasn't been called in terms of, you know, whistles for fouls. So it's just been a very physical game for each team. And coming into the second half here, we're probably going to see a lot more of that, you know, with 20 minutes to go in this one. We got about 4 minutes to go before we kick off the second half. We'll take it to a commercial break, come back with about 1 minute to go before the second half. You're listening to men's basketball on the campus of UMass Boston inside the Clark Athletic Center and the Beacons Broadcast Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
Easily accessible to downtown Boston is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters. I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, or it's so much better to have an advisor helping you out, telling you which classes to choose.
People at UMass Boston, they're here because they know they can have an impact. Not just on research, but on people, on their students.
This is just a starting point. It only has potential to grow, and it has a big potential to grow up.
You're really having a direct impact on people's lives, and you can see that now, and you can see that years from now.
So I think it's becoming like the place that people want to go.
What UMass Boston is able to offer to its young people certainly stands out to that mission that was set right out in the beginning. It's something UMass Boston should be and can be very proud about.
High atop the Clark Athletic Center balcony here, overlooking the scorers table and the crowd here as we get ready to start the second half of UMass Boston men's basketball here at home. I'm Michael Vesci, joined alongside Gina Albano. Making our broadcasting debut here. We had a few technical difficulties to start the game out, but we recovered from it, and now we're here enjoying some Beacon basketball here on a beautiful Saturday in Beaconville. Crowd is ready to go. We're ready to go for the second half. And just after this, be sure to join us over at women's hockey, taking on Middlebury College at 4:00 p.m. Andrew Bluestein will have the call in that one. Xavier McKenzie will take it out for the Beacons to start the second half here for them. McKenzie had 7 points in the first half, 3 of 6 shooting. It's going to be Manny Zayas up top with the ball one-on-one. Alongside Kobe Jones, who's guarding him, again in that 2-3 zone. McKenzie kicking over to Burris in the corner. Burris down to Lorquette at the post. Lorquette triple teamed with that zone all over. Now Burris in the corner, just looking to get it off to Olivia Rodriguez for three. No good. Rebounded by McKenzie on the offensive end. It'll stay here with the Beacons. Lorquette working hard down low in a one-on-one situation against Levi White to try and get some space. McKenzie driving in, jumps, can't finish as it rims out. Lorquette, though, comes in, gets the rebound for two.
That's a great hustle from the Beacons, getting 2 rebounds to kind of put themselves in that position to get those 2 points.
Yeah, offensive rebounds in the first half for the Beacons. They had 6. That's 2 big ones right there as Lorquette with the steal. He's going to be one-on-one with McGee. Spin move, lays it home. What a nice move by Malik Lorquette on the turnover and steal to put the Beacons back up by 13. Bernie McGinnis, as Gina Albano mentioned at halftime, needs to get it going for his team here in the second half, looking to make something happen down low against Olivia Rodriguez. Kicks it back out to Moore. Moore with the jumper. Everything kind of stopped there for a minute. Can't hit as Xavier McKenzie grabs that rebound for UMass Boston, and the Beacons coming the other way with it. Kenzie feeds Burris in the corner. Too long. It's going to be rebounded by Lorquette, and he's going to be fouled.
At halftime, we said Lorquette has to keep doing his thing, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, and he gets fouled by McGee. That's going to be the first of the second half for Eastern Nazarene. Remember, if you get to 7, you get in the bonus, and you get an a one-and-one opportunity, excuse me. Zayas for 3. Swishes it home. Emmanuel Zayas has had himself a great game so far. He's got 9 points now. After that, Nazarene coming the other way, rebounded by McGinnis. He lays it up and in as Lorquette got knocked to the ground on that initial shot by White. Zayas right there on the right side, guarded by Jones. Olivia Rodriguez now with it on the left. That 2-3 zone, they're trying to push it up a little bit higher to get the Beacon offense working down low in the posts. As Olivia Rodriguez fouled on the 3-and-1. Olivia Rodriguez banks the 3. He's fouled by Levi White, and he'll go to the line and shoot 1 for a 4-point play here. Beacon's up by 17 now.
That's huge for the Beacons, and that, that speaks to their ball movement again. The Lions are having a hard time figuring out where to cover and who to mark.
Yeah, I just talked about the zone. They're trying to work it up top to try and get it down low, and it seems like they, kind of did the opposite there. They kind of pushed it down low and got it up top for the open 3. As you're going to see Corey McGee right there with it. Offensive foul called against the Lions. Beacons now up by 18. Remember, it was a 9-point lead at halftime, 39-30. They've opened up this half in an 11-2 run to open up an 18-point advantage. Xavier McKenzie controls the ball on the right side. Manny Zayas with it now on the left. Kicks it back out to McKenzie on the right. McKenzie trying to work with something back up to Burris. Like I just mentioned, that 2-3 zone has been very active up top. Zayas open for 3. Nothing but net again as he yells towards the bench. He's fired up. The Beacons fired up. They're up by 21 right now, just finding ways to get around this ENC zone here to start the second half. And, Gina, you played defense over for the women's soccer team. You know how big defense is in certain formations and stuff. What are you seeing from this, ENC defense that doesn't seem to be working as we see Xavier McKenzie 2-on-1, lays it up. Beacons by 23 now.
I mean, it's hard. It's difficult, especially Olivia Rodriguez and Zayas are making the shots. It makes it difficult. There's really nothing you can do when they're just kind of on and making every shot they're taking.
Yeah, the Beacon offense certainly has been hot here all game long so far, and looking to continue it. Foul down low there by Xavier McKenzie, excuse me. That's actually going to be called on Tommy Burris. as we've got 5 new players coming to the floor. The entire lineup subbed out for the Lions here after a rough start to the half for them. 16:03 remaining in the second half of this one. The Beacons now in control by 23 points. Battisti with it up near the corner point. He's going to shoot it from the free throw line. Too long. McKenzie with the rebound, and back the other way come the Beacons. JT Rozier making his first appearance in this one. Isaac Padilla on the floor along with Kobe Dunbar for ENC. Joey DePina also out there as Livia Rodriguez too long with the shot, misses, and it's going to be rebounded by Dunbar the other way. It's kicked out into the corner for 3 for DePina, Joey DePina. Misses that one. Kobe Dunbar with the rebound up top. Padilla in the corner for 3. Got it. And the Beacons lead cut down to 20 now. A little bit of pressure now from the Lions at half court will make it tough to get back into that 2-3 zone. If they decide to apply two people past the half court line, it leaves the entire perimeter exposed for the Beacons, who have been nailing all their shots from long range. Zayas misses that one, but Malik Lorquette rebound short. Battisti with the rebound, and back the other way comes ENC. Padilla feeds it over to Dunbar down low. Battisti back up top, trying to find somewhere to go. It's going to be a long 3 right there from Dunbar, who misses. Lorquette with the rebound. Beacons in full control right now, up 20. With just under 14:30 to play here. 3 Beacons players right now with 12 points. Burris with the nice feed to Lorquette. Reverse spin move on Battisti for 2. It just looks too easy for him right now. Lorquette with 15 points, 10 rebounds. You see Rozier coming in, misses that shot. Burris with the block against Padilla. Battisti rebound, got it for 2. It's a 20-point game again. Malik Lorquette, 14 points, 10 rebounds now. His 7th double-double of the season in 9 games for UMass Boston. And I should just point out in those other 2 games, he was right on the brink of getting them too, playing in limited minutes. Livia Rodriguez in the corner. Nothing but net. Mariano Olivia Rodriguez nails another 3, and the Beacon offense has clicked on all cylinders to start the second half. They're up. Gosh, I'm losing control of how much they're up by now. They keep going up by 20 plus. They're up by 23 now. We'll head to the media timeout. Join you back here in a minute on the Beacon Broadcast Network, brought to you by Lilies.tv.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Back here on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, going to look at some replays right here, as you're going to first see Malik Lorquette with this nice steal up top. Gina, what do you see on this play that worked out really well? Oh, looks like we had a little bit of a technical difficulty right there. You're going to see Lorquette with the steal right there. And what do you see there?
Yeah, I think he just read the play really, really well. He has a great kind of sense of kind of where the ball was going and is able to finish on a great spin move.
Yeah, and then you're going to see another nice one here. Burris with the skip pass over to Olivia Rodriguez, forcing that last time out there for ENC. And now we come back to you with 13:46 to play in regulation. It is a 23-point Beacon lead as Joy applying a little bit of pressure to JT Rozier down on the defensive end. As Lorquette nearly, just like you mentioned, read the play perfectly right there and stole the pass to Battisti. It's going to be Padilla in the corner short on that one. Battisti with the rebound lays it up against Lorquette. A little bit of pressure coming here from the Lions. They send 3 back onto the defensive end. 1 right there at half court, and now Rozier and the rest of the team fall back into that 2-3 zone. Xavier McKenzie now with it on the right side. Draped all over him is Joey DePina. Going to get an offensive foul called there on Lorquette, doing the spin move on Battisti. Into the game now for the Lions is Carlos Reynoso. He subs out Joey DePina. As we have a timeout on the floor, we'll come back to you in a second here. The Beacons up by 21 here on the Beacon Broadcast Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute. For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school, but every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Mike Vesci back with Gina Albano up here atop the balcony here at Clark Athletic Center. Beacons in control 60-39 over Eastern Nazarene. Gina, we mentioned at halftime, only a 9-point lead. Both teams needed somebody to step up. What has really been the key in this second half that has allowed UMass Boston to jump out to now a 21-point advantage? That's a huge swing from what they were at 9 points at halftime.
Yeah, I think this all goes back to possession. UMass Boston has done a great job of slowing the game down and kind of taking control. Tommy Burris has also done a great job of kind of finding openings and finding players to put up assists so that they can kind of take that chance. He found Malik Lorquette right in front of the basket, and then Olivia Rodriguez later on to hit a three, which is kind of really important in helping the Beacons a lot here.
Yeah, Tommy Burris, as you mentioned, he's got 4 blocks, 3 assists. He set up some great shots for the UMass Boston offense right there. Isaac Padilla just hit a 3 for the Lions to make it an 18-point game. But, yeah, we can't talk any less. We can't emphasize any more, really, just how great the offense has been in terms of moving the ball around and getting guys with open looks. Playing against the 2-3 zone is very tough. As you see Lorquette there with the spin move, one-on-one, he's able to get it home, and the Beacons stretch that lead back to 20. But, you know, the 2-3 zone is one of the toughest to kind of solve. Jim Boeheim up at Syracuse has run it for years with the Orange, and when it comes to tournament time, it seems like the Orange there turn it on and are unable to, you know, teams are just unable to figure it out. And we're seeing the Beacons figure out pretty well how to do it. This running gun offense for them has really seemed to be their bread and butter here in this game. And then just finding a way to throw the zone off to one side and making those long skip passes as Lorquette is fouled. A beautiful pass from Zayas down low behind Padilla, and Battisti on the back end of that zone. Lorquette is fouled on the play. He'll go to the line for 2. As Joey DePina and Michael Chiodo will check in. We've got a timeout here on the floor. Beacons up by 20. We'll throw it to a commercial break real quick here on the Beacon Broadcast Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv.
Welcome back to the Beacon Broadcast Network. Beacons are up versus Eastern Nazarene Lions, 62-42. Quite a bit going on here in the Clark Center. One Lion who's really stood out tonight has been Isaac Padilla in the second half. He's done a really good job kind of coming out as a freshman with already 6 points in the second half, which is kind of hard to do, especially when you're down, 20 points or so, to get in the game and be able to kind of make an impact.
Yeah, thank you, Gina Albano, for the introduction here coming out of the timeout as Malik Lorquette shooting 2 from the line. Isaac Padilla, as she mentioned, 6 points in the second half, and it is, like you mentioned, hard to do. When you're down 20, morale can be down. You kind of feel like you're out of the game, especially when it's late. Later on, later moments, as we saw them sub out the entire team just 4 minutes into the second half. But Isaac Padilla off the bench has really kind of been a spark there, as you're going to see another turnover for the Lions. McKenzie takes on 2 defenders at once and lays it up and in. The freshman, who's been LEC Rookie of the Week already once this year, does it again. He's just been all over the place for the Beacons so far. A young freshman right here who's really making his mark on this team. And you got to keep in mind, you got 3 more years after this with this kid, and he's already been putting up impressive numbers for the Beacons, and it can only get better from here, you would think, right?
Absolutely. You know, you talk about the difficulty in playing when you're down 20 points. It can also be difficult playing when you're up 20 points, and Mackenzie shows that there's no difficulty keeping that gas pedal down and making that layup.
Yeah, when you're up 20, you kind of want to just coast, and that's something this Beacon team could easily do, but then you risk getting that other team some momentum, and they get back into this game right now. The Beacons, though, in full control, up 24 points. As Padilla is going to airball that 3, it was just before the shot clock violation, it looks like, so Lorquette's going to get credit for yet another rebound. That's 12 for him now. 9 on the defensive end, 3 on the offensive in this one. McKenzie down low on the beautiful feed from Zayas. You see them just throwing off that 2-3 zone so well with the quick passes. Everybody trying to play their spot, and they just can't. McKenzie's pushed from behind. A little bit of a late whistle there, but they get the foul call nonetheless. It's on number 12, Michael Chiodo. And McKenzie will head to the line to shoot 2. Xavier McKenzie missing the first. He had a streak at one point in which he did not miss a free throw for 2 consecutive games. Checking into this game for the Lions is Sean McNichols. McKenzie today, he's got 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting. That was his first free throw miss. He's also got 5 rebounds. Hits the second, so he's got 12. 4 Beacons in double digits right now with just over 10 minutes to play. Malik Lorquette leading the way with 18. Mariano Rodriguez with 15, Emmanuel Zayas with 12, and Xavier McKenzie with 12 as well. Tommy Burris adding 5 to the stat sheet. Bobby Joy with 3, and Malik Brooms with 2. As McKenzie, running the other way, looked to try and find a pass before he fell out of the air and could not do so. It'll be a turnover for UMass Boston.
Still a great effort by McKenzie to, cause that turnover and get down the court quickly. Just wanted to make that extra pass back to the three-point line, and unfortunately to travel.
Yeah, that was actually the Beacons' second turnover of the half. So 10 minutes through, only 2 turnovers. That's what you have to do if you want to keep the lead up, is just protect the ball, especially when you're up by double digits like this. Protect the ball, make the shots, run the shot clock down. They're doing everything right now. As down low as McGee misses that one, Lorquette, another rebound. He could very well be on his way to a 20-20 game as long as he stays in down the stretch, although you have to think once you're up big in the final few minutes, they might decide to go to the reserves to help preserve some energy. You got 4 games coming up. This is the first of 4 before next Saturday. We've got another one here on Tuesday and Thursday, both at 7 o'clock. Ikalua with the turnaround jumper. But as I mentioned, Tuesday, Thursday, Salem State, Westfield State, then next weekend against Rhode Island College, all here at home. The 2 weekday games at 7 o'clock, and then you can catch them right here at 3 o'clock next Saturday. And at 1 o'clock that same day, we also have women's basketball taking on Rhode Island College, a pair of big LEC matches coming up there. McGee controlling the ball in the corner right here with about 9 minutes to go in the game. Fakes a pass out. Sean McNichols gets it over to Bernie McGinnis, who just has not found his shot today. McGinnis with yet another 3. Misses. Lorquette unable to corral the rebound. That's going to be Xavier DePina hitting the layup right there by Lorquette. Beacon still in control by 25 here with 9 minutes remaining. Emmanuel Zaya is looking to get it over to Ike Alua. Alua falls out of bounds, but it's off of McGinnis. Ball will stay here with 8:48 remaining. We take a look at some of the stats right here. Bernie McGinnis averaging 18 points coming into this game. He's 4 of 11 today. Zayas, Emmanuel Zayas hits the 3 and is fouled. That's the second 3-point shot in which the Beacons have been fouled in the second half, and they've made it, both of which have been nothing but net. Truly impressive nonetheless. You don't see too many 4-point plays in the game. Usually you're just told to put your hand up and stay in position, but Manny Zaya is drawing the foul right there, hits the 3, and he'll get 1 free throw. Zaya is taking his time at the line. Beacons in control by 29 now as he hits that one. And back the other way come the Lions, looking to just try and find a way to get back into this. There's still plenty of time, as that's going to be a turnover there by Moore. Lorquette with the steal. He just kind of lost control of it, and it landed in the hands of Lorquette. Lorquette in a mismatch down low with DePina calling for the ball. He's got about a 4-inch advantage, I would say, from this angle on DePina, as now the switch is made over to McGee. Zaya is in a one-on-one situation up top. Bobby Joy with McGee draped all over him. Ball is going to stay here. Kobe Jones is going to check back in for the Lions with 8:12 remaining in a 29-point game. Zaya is the inbound right here. Lorquette makes a move. What a beautiful finish. Right at the end of the shot clock, Malik Lorquette. I mean, he has been on another level so far this year, folks. He's really showing out in his senior year, as there's going to be a foul down low against McGinnis. It's Emmanuel Zayas who committed the foul there. Will send McGinnis to the line for 2. As we hit the media timeout here, take a quick break here on the Beacon Broadcast Network. UMass Boston up by 31, 75-44 over the Lions here in the second half. We got some replays for you, courtesy of Elena Albano up here. There's Manny Zayas' 3. I mean, and then Lorquette right there, just a beautiful move. I mean, I don't know how on earth he was able to finish that, but that seems to be his patented move, the reverse layup, and he does it again there. It's UMass Boston just dominating in every piece of the game right now, from the arc, from the free throw line, in the paint. There's nothing you can do to slow down this team right now, it seems like. What are you seeing from this team in the second half, Gina, that maybe we haven't seen through the first 8 games, including the ones we've seen at home here, which has been just 3 up to this point?
They're doing a great job getting to the basket. They're getting rebounds, and they're finishing, which I think is really key here.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunities in a lot of the early on games in which they could have taken advantage of things down low. It seemed like they were just always moving a little bit too fast, but they seem to be moving in sync now, as they're going to see a turnover right here by Ike Alua. It's kicked out, it's stolen, pardon me, by Sean McNichols, and then Xavier DePina misses the 3. Down low into the game now for the Beacons, Eric Donaldson with the rebounds. And as I mentioned, you know, Lorquette could very well have been on his way to a 20-20 game. Looks like he's out now. He'll likely not come back into this game unless it gets close again, I would have to imagine. So he'll finish the day with 20 and 13 if that's the case. Just another impressive stat line for him. He's just been, you know, again, like I mentioned before, 7 double-doubles now this year. He's really been the heart and soul of that paint presence for the Beacons so far this year. And, you know, what have you seen from his game so far, Gina, that has really been, I mean, you've obviously, I'm new here. This is only my 5th month being up here with the UMass Boston crew. But you've gotten to see him for the past few years. What has looked different maybe about his game as opposed to other years as we get a foul down low?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's always been good down by in front of the net with blocks and getting rebounds. But I think this year really he's been able to finish. He's been able to put those numbers up to kind of showcase just how good he really is.
Yeah, you get the feeling, especially as your career is winding down at the college level, that you kind of want to, you know, make a great last impression. I'm sure that was probably your case, finishing out your career earlier this year with the women's soccer team. You won how many LEC titles?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2.
we were in the championship game my junior year, but we lost to Western Connecticut, so we don't like to talk about that one.
And you got that revenge in the regular season game this year. It came up just short in the semifinals against WestCon, but a great season nonetheless, the way you guys were able to turn it around. As we got a 75-46 game right here with about 6 minutes remaining as Manny Zayas pulls up for three, short on that one. Brendan Grady rebounding it for the Lions, seeing some action here in the second half of this game as Isaac Padilla off the bench. He's been the go-to guy, it seems like, in the second half. Gets it down low. There's going to be no basket on that one. It's before the whistle.
You know, it's interesting from a coaching perspective when all your players are kind of doing so well, and you got, big games coming up. Do you take them off and kind of let them rest, or do you kind of let them do their thing and stay in that rhythm? I think it's really good to see other people out there also getting.
Yeah, you like to see those, those reserves get some playing time, get in a game situation, because you never know when your number could be called on. I mean, from what I've seen across Beaconville and in my years down at Eastern Connecticut State, is really, injuries happen, and you could be the next man up, and you got to be ready for that. And someone like Carson Meswar that we see out there right now, or Malik Brooms, who has seen some limited minutes today, or Eric Donaldson out there, they may need to have their number called upon, and so getting these reps here down the stretch is key.
Absolutely. I think this really exemplifies just how deep UMass Boston's bench is, being able to put in new players and keep this lead very, very comfortable.
Yeah, it can be difficult, especially once you get into that rhythm where you have the reserves, where sometimes the production kind of falls off a little bit, but it seems like this team is just kind of knows what their role is in all pieces of the game right now, and the reserves are able to come in and do the job that the starters are doing. Maybe not at the same level of production as the starters, but they're still able to get a lot of good shot opportunities and create offense and defense for the Beacons that help keep them in control of this one. You see a rebound there by Isaac Padilla on the back end of the free throws for Malik Brooms. Beacons still up by 28 here, about 5 minutes to go in this one as the Beacons, unless something drastically changes here down the stretch, will move to 6-3 on the year. JT Rozier, the freshman guard for the Lions, hits that two right there, cuts their deficit down to 26. And Gina, like we mentioned, they got 3 games coming up next week, Salem State, Westfield, and then they close it out with Rick before the new year. This has to be a good momentum builder for you. You just beat Curry College by double digits, and now you come out against a team that beat you last year down the stretch. It's Manny Zayas. Just making some impressive shots in the second half here with another fadeaway jumper right there. But like I said, you head down this stretch of games. You come off a big win against Curry by double digits after the tough loss against WestCon. You're kind of riding this wave now into these final 3 games where you're going to look really good going to the second half of the year. And I think if they continue to keep up the way they've been, going with this game into the next 3, they're going to be a tough team to beat, I think, in the second half of the season. And here we go with the steal. Padilla, Joy, the fundamental layup right there. Short. Malik Brooms with the rebound. He's going to be fouled. Yep, looks like they're actually going to call a jump ball, and that's going to be a possession throw in favor of ENC. Checking into the game for the first time, I believe, this year is number 3, Isaac Allen. Pardon me, he played 6 minutes actually earlier this year. But again, nonetheless, second appearance for the freshman. Do you remember what it was like your first time stepping onto the field as a freshman? What's that feeling like, when you haven't played before, you're getting in your first collegiate game? Nerves? What's it feel like?
It's scary. It's definitely easier coming into a game where you have a comfortable lead, but it's definitely not something that you're walking into feeling comfortable with that confidence and ego that you've had maybe throughout your high school career. It's definitely a little reality check. You're playing in the big leagues now, and the good thing is you usually have your teammates to kind of lift you up and ease you into the game.
So we've got a turnover there out of bounds for the Lions. Beacon ball. We're going to keep it here during the media timeout, but, you know, like you mentioned, you know, those nerves. Now, you were in a role this year as a senior where it's kind of like, how do you kind of help those freshmen who are adapting? You know, you had a lot of great freshmen on your team this year who picked it up in scoring to kind of make up for the lost talent that you guys had on the senior end with Mary Jo Murphy and Allie Crawford. You know, you kind of had Clea Eaton who came in, Elia Velez. I always got her name wrong during the season, and I apologize for that. You know, you had freshmen like that who kind of anchored the midfield and the forward front. How do you kind of help as a senior kind of, you know, help them find that extra little bit that they need coming to the collegiate level, brand new talent level and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it all goes back to kind of remembering how you felt, you know, walking onto that field as well as a freshman, and kind of helping them kind of even in practice build their confidence, create a little bit of an ego for them so they can step on that field and do what they need to do to help out the team and lift us up. We did. We had some great freshmen who really performed incredibly well, definitely helping our kind of season turnaround mid-season. So we owe that to them for sure, and I think as upperclassmen, we did a great job of kind of promoting them to know that they were here to do their job and they all belonged there as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll see you around in the future next year, even though your career is done here in Beaconville after a tremendous 3 years anchoring the defense for the Beacons and helping them get to that one LEC championship, as well as going to the title game. As you mentioned earlier, I got my numbers wrong. But right here, again, we pick it up. We're talking a lot about freshmen because a lot of the new players for this Beacon team are in now down the stretch as they lead by 28. Carson Meswar is heading to the line for 2 shots now. The freshman guard out of Adams, Massachusetts. He's seen a little bit of playing action this year. Seeing a lot of time down the stretch right now with the Beacons in full control. As they look to close this game out on a high note and head into next week with a big 3-game stretch, as you see Meswar nearly getting a steal right there. He seems to be very active up top at the guard position. In the corner is Brendan Grady, misses the shot. A fight for it between Joy and Devano Clark. It's won by the Beacons there, as you see Allen bringing it up the court. This is Allen's first home action, actually, for UMass Boston. The 6 minutes did come on the road earlier this year. Malik Brooms gets it back up to Meswar, who's controlling the point guard position, it seems like. Down low, Isaac Allen lays it up and in. His first basket of the game.
And I think that's another reason why it's so important to kind of get the bench in this game, that getting just those shots and those opportunities create confidence, and that's what you really need to have in your bench. You need to have them able to step on the court and really create a difference.
Yeah, and we're actually going to see a couple more guys into this game. Trevor McDonald checking in now, looking here at our stats. He's played 2 minutes this year on the road, grabbed a rebound, no points. And then Fidendi Francois, who we've seen on and off, has played in 5 games, averaging about 2 minutes per game. He's got 2 points this year. So again, we're getting some of the younger guys in and seeing how they can operate down the stretch on the floor. It's good to see, as you see McDonald making an immediate impact. Looks like he got a hand on that one right there. It'll be Lions ball with 2:04 remaining, 5 on the shot clock. Beacons up by 30 here. But way to make an immediate impact by McDonald. Donaldson looked to get a hand on that one. Reynoso lays it up and in. Yeah, I feel like anytime you're able to get those, you know, even just the first basket like Allen did there, or a block like McDonald, that's got to be a huge momentum booster. Like, yeah, I'm at this level, but I can play, sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You see a nice cross pass there by DePina, Xavier DePina, for Brendan Grady. Not quite able to hold on to it, and the Beacons will get that ball on another turnover for the Lions. 8 fouls for the visitors right now, just 4 for the Beacons. We talked about it at halftime, limiting the fouls and trying to get the Beacons into foul trouble. And it just seems like the Lions have not been able to do that here in the second half. I mean, the fact that the Beacons have only committed 9 fouls in this entire game is pretty tremendous. You do not see that too often in a basketball game, as a quick turnover by UMass Boston then leads to a turnover by the Lions, and then Meswar lines up for 3. Just short. It'll go out of bounds and back to the Lions, as we're actually going to see now Benjamin Gamble hit the floor for his UMass Boston debut. The sophomore guard out of Montpelier, Vermont, 6 feet tall, has taken the floor for UMass Boston here with just over a minute to go. I believe with that now, we have seen every single UMass Boston player on the roster make it into a game this year, as that is an and one opportunity for the Lions. Count the basket. Foul is charged to Trevor McDonald. His first, which sends Brendan Grady to the line for one. It's a 26-point game here with 1:02 remaining.
You know, we've talked a lot about the freshmen on the Beacon side, but the Lions have had a great showing from their freshman class as well. We got Padilla, who we've talked a little about, Rozier, who's had great game so far, making a lot of opportunities. And then you see there another freshman getting to the line as well.
Yeah, Brendan Grady is who you're talking about, I believe. And yeah, so I mean, yeah, you can't understate too that even down the stretch, trailing by this many points, you're still seeing the fight out of this Lions team. They're not going away and just laying over and dying. They've really tried to take it to the Beacons. The UMass Boston defense just seems to have everything clicking right now. From the looks of it from up here, it looks like they were also playing a 2-3 for most of the game, but ENC just didn't have the outside shot that the Beacons had all game long to help put them in that position where they could go basket for basket with UMass Boston down the stretch, and you saw it there in the second half. A 9-point lead now stretched to 27 here as the Lions go to the line with Xavier DePina for 2 shots, the junior guard out of Whittam, Massachusetts. Hits the first. It's now a 24-point lead. 24 seconds left as DePina will take the second shot and nails it. As the Beacons will likely just cross half court right here and call it a day. We'll see if the ENC defense decides to play straight up. Looks like we're going to just see them waste the clock out and kind of move the ball around. A little bit of pressure applied by the Lions. 10 seconds remaining in this one. You see Gamble with the ball. No, looks like we might get one more shot. No, looks like they're just going to waste time. As there's going to be a foul called actually there on Devano Clark, who looked to try and get a steal, maybe a last-second basket for the Lions. And with that, like we mentioned at halftime, the 1-and-1 opportunity does come for UMass Boston here. 9 fouls on the board. The 10th would be in double bonus and 2 shots. But right here, we're going to get to see Trevor McDonald take at least one free throw, and he makes it, so he'll get another right here. 83-57 UMass Boston, who have been in control pretty much after that big 18-0 run. As this one's over here, the UMass Boston Beacons take down Eastern Nazarene College, 84-57 at home this Saturday afternoon in Beaconville. UMass Boston moving to 6-3 to start the year. Eastern Nazarene College dropping to 5-6. We're going to take a quick commercial, get you some final stats, and kind of recap a little bit of what happened today for your men's basketball team on the Lilies.tv Beacon Broadcast Network. Thank you.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the university.
Back here inside the Clark Athletic Center as we close out a big Beacon win here. Beacon's just in full control of this one after trailing early on 15-9. End up going ahead 84. I shouldn't say going ahead 84-57. The final score was 84-57, but they went up 39-30 at halftime, and then just went on a massive run there to start the second half that helped them stay in control the rest of the way. As we look at the final stats right here, UMass Boston shot 50.8% from the floor in general. And then, more impressively after that, they shot 47.8% from three-point land, which, I mean, those numbers are pretty unheard of at any level of the game, but they were just a bunch of hot shots tonight, being able to score from pretty much anywhere and do everything at will against that 2-3 zone of Eastern Nazarene. Free throw percentage was a little bit behind everything else at 61.1%. You know, I'm sure you'd like to see that up a little bit higher as they're 11 of 18 from three-point land. From the free throw line. And then rebounding, they barely out-rebounded the Lions 40-36. It was a tough battle on the boards, but again, that hot shooting was really the difference maker. And then as we talked about at halftime, me and Gina talked about, you know, assists and the ball movement of the Beacons. 20 assists to the Lions, 9, and then turnovers were pretty dead even the entire way. But UMass Boston was able to make the most of theirs. They did get 18 points off of turnovers compared to just 13 for ENC. So, I mean, we look ahead at the schedule for the Beacons, and coming up for them next week, they're going to have 3 home games against Salem State University, Westfield State University, and Rhode Island College. That will be a big game at home to try and get back in the Lillies Conference race to try, you know, you want to get up higher and higher into the standings. Gino, what did you think was impressive from, you know, the UMass Boston offense, defense, everything? I mean, they were clicking on all cylinders today. What really stood out to you for them?
I think their ball movement was huge. We see that 10 different players on the UMass Boston Beacons roster ended up scoring points tonight, so that's huge. That really sets the tone. Another stat that's not up here is, you know, the Beacons moved to 6-3. That's big. You talked about games coming up. As a college athlete myself, I can tell you other teams are going to look at that. They're going to look at the point differential of this game as well, and they're going to, you know, that's something that sets the tone.
Yeah, I'm sure you never like to look too far ahead. You like to take it one game at a time. But, you know, when you have a big win like this, you're kind of looking ahead at what's next. Can we keep this momentum going? And you've got 3 winnable games coming up. It's not going to be easy by any means, but they are definitely winnable games. Just real quick, looking at some of the final totals here, Malik Lorquette had 20 points, 13 rebounds, another double-double for him, his 7th of the season. Right behind him was Emmanuel Zayas, who shot out of his mind again. 6 of 11 from the floor, 5 of 9 from three-point land, 18 points. Xavier McKenzie, 12 points on 5 of 9 shooting with 5 rebounds. 15 points for Mariano Olivier Rodriguez to go along with his 4 rebounds. He shot 5 of 9. I mean, these guys were shooting over 50% from the floor, and that's just your starting crew. We're just talking about the starters. The bench, while they may have only had 14 points, held that lead down the stretch and showed that even the reserves can play with the starters and the backups of their opponents, and we saw that down the stretch there in the second half. Is there anything else that that really stood out to you from either team today in terms of how things finished up for it?
I think it's it is a loss for Eastern Nazarene for the Lions, but I don't think it's all bad. Some freshmen had some great showings tonight, so I think that's really something to look forward to, not just in the season, but in the years to come. That's something exciting to kind of take note of.
Yep, and as we finish it up here today, just want to give you a quick update around Beaconville, what's going on. With the other sports, the winter sports are in action. The New Balance meet is going on over at New Balance's facility here in Boston. Both indoor track teams are currently there at the moment. And then our women's basketball team is on the road against WPI. They currently trail at halftime 22-6 in that one. And then coming up just about an hour from now, catch us over on the Beacon Broadcast Network. Catch Andrew Bluestein with the call around 4 o'clock, as you'll see your UMass Boston women's ice hockey team taking on Middlebury College, nationally ranked and winners last year of the championship. Is there anything you're looking forward to in that game coming up at 4 o'clock? It's going to be, I think it'll be a good game, but nonetheless, it's going to be a tough one for the Beacons. You're looking forward to that one. You're going to be over there. Gina is also our camera operator for every one of those hockey games up top, giving you the nice action shots in front of the net. Anything you're looking forward to doing that besides obviously doing camera for us again?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be over there. I think the Beacons have showed that they're able to keep up with some highly ranked teams. So it'll be exciting to see what they can kind of do against this Middlebury team that's looking good this year.
Yep, we're looking forward to it. And one more question for you: how did it feel making your broadcasting debut on the Beacon Broadcast Network? You're a senior, 4 years here, 3 years of sports. What was it like doing this for the first time?
It was a lot of fun. I hope the viewers enjoyed it as much as I did. It's fun to be up here. It's fun to get to watch UMass kind of have a great game against the Lions tonight. It was a good time.
Different experience for sure. We thank you for joining us. We look forward to the next game coming up at home, like we mentioned, on Tuesday night against Salem State University at 7 p.m. I'm Michael Vesci. This is Gina Albano. We'd like to say thank you to our director, George Abani, who is helping flip the cameras around all night long. Josh Eastman and Luke Levitt with the down low shots for you guys. Colin Ford following all the action up top. And then Elena Albano, what more can you say about her? Doing it all for us up here. A little bit short-staffed today, but she made the magic happen, as those replays you saw and the graphics you saw all game long, courtesy of her. We thank you for joining us on the Beacon Broadcast Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you over at women's ice hockey in just about an hour from now.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package.